I be sparking and busting mad like inside the dark. Call me Bill Snatcher, just a brother for the rapture. I hang live, holding on strong, hard to capture. Extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a convict and start killing. It's manifesting. The gods work like appliances, dealing in my sacred life.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys a major update for the Boruto anime. We have the provisional titles and we also have the episode summaries that have been published in the magazines over in Japan. Make sure to thank Organic Dinosaur over on Twitter, as always, for the hard work as well as for the translation. So I gotta say right now, if you're an anime only fan, this is content that the anime does want you to know about. And so what I will say is that I would watch this video, but if you want to go into the upcoming episodes completely unspoiled, I recommend clicking off of this video because this is going to be a spoiler video in that regard. So with that being said though, if you're still here, I'm assuming that you don't care about me talking about the upcoming episodes in the summary. So we have episode titles and summaries for episode 190, 91, 92, and 93. So this is going to be taking us all the way into April of 2021. So in episode 190 is titled Escape. And so this is so big because a lot of people were thinking that we were going to be getting a long filler arc. And I even said on Twitter, hey, there's a possibility that Studio Pierrot looks at everything that is going on and says, hey, there's a little bit of wiggle room for us to actually do some anime only episodes. And that's exactly what we're getting right here. So keep in mind that in this upcoming arc that the anime is adapting, there is built-in room in the manga for anime only material. In episode 190 it says Escape, and so this episode summary states that Boruto and his teammates take Kawaki, a mysterious boy who has once again become unconscious, and return back to the Advanced Technology Research Institute, so basically Katasuke's lab. They've made arrangements to pay Kawaki a salary to work in the laboratory. Despite Sumire kindly offering to help him, Kawaki still treats her like an enemy. In the end, Kawaki had planned on escaping the research facility. Meanwhile, Konohamaru Sarutobi is a step ahead of him and has already returned to Konoha. The 7th Hokage, Naruto, receives a report from Konohamaru regarding the status of the current mission. Naruto has taken an interest in the connection between Kawaki and Car, and so in order for Naruto to hear a first-hand account of Kawaki's story, he has decided to personally head out towards the Advanced Technology Research Institute. So on this one, this is huge because this goes back to what I said. There are built-in moments in the anime for anime original stuff, but what I love about what this current director for the series is doing is, just like with the car actuation arc, he's taking stuff that was mentioned in the manga and implied in the manga, and he's fleshing it out. And so this stuff with Kawaki working in the Research Institute, Katasuke was very interested in Kawaki's body because of everything done to Kawaki's body. And so when you guys see this upcoming episode 189, you'll understand why Katasuke is so interested in Kawaki. And so I know people are saying, wait, well, Kawaki's supposed to be unconscious before he gets to Konoha. Yes, but again, like I warned you guys on Twitter a while back, there's an unspecified amount of time that is built in that allows for this stuff to take place. We just see that Kawaki's going to be taken back to Konoha, and we don't know how long it actually takes. We don't know how long he was actually unconscious. So I'm okay with this right here because, again, they're taking liberties with the manga continuity. So that one I'm okay with. Again, I'm interested in that one right there because of this next episode. So episode 191, the episode so many people feared was going to be a random filler slice of life episode. This one's titled Stray Dog. However, this is in direct reference to Kawaki himself. And so episode 191 says that despite suffering from serious injuries, Kawaki has run away from the Advanced Technology Research Institute. Having left the laboratory, Kawaki has finally found his way to the downtown shopping district. Exhausted and out of stamina, he needs to find some sustenance for his empty stomach too. And so he tries to find something to eat somehow. Just then, Sumire, who had been trying to locate Kawaki, and her summoned creature, Nue, both appear in front of him together. Even though she is worried about the wounds on Kawaki's body, Kawaki is the same as ever. He is still openly hostile towards her. Sumire then begins to talk about herself and the circumstances of her life to Kawaki. So this is huge because I said when we saw Kawaki and Sumire's interactions in the manga, I said, hey, there's a little bit there to where I do think that there's a possibility that the anime is going to flesh this out a little bit. There's just too much red meat right there to kind of link up Sumire and Kawaki having similar backstories and having similar circumstances. Kawaki obviously had the harder end of the stick, and yet at the same time there's enough there and there's enough smaller interactions to where you can definitely build this up in the anime to actually build towards the scene that we get in the manga. And so the anime is basically doing this, and I like that it's actually Sumire actually pulling her weight at this point, because so far in this arc the anime's done a good job of actually showing you like, hey, you know, she's doing a good job at the research institute, she's one of Katasuke's assistants, she's a very valuable person, but now we're seeing like the ninja instincts, they're still there, and she's using her words to try and get through to Kawaki, and she's using her own experiences to try and break down that very hostile shell that he has. And once you see the full extent of everything Kawaki's gone through, you're gonna understand why Kawaki is as distrusting as he is, especially being in a scientific research institute like Katasuke's lab. So very good right there. Episode 192, which is called The Past, which is going to be airing on March 28th. The episode summary says, at Naruto's request, Kawaki himself was transferred to Konoha. Even though Kawaki had collapsed and was unconscious, he was being tormented by nightmares from when he was a young child. That anguish was due to the horrific violence that had been inflicted on him by his father. Kawaki was living in desperate circumstances, struggling to survive. One day, a lone man appeared. That person was a leader of Kara, Jigen. Because of that encounter, Kawaki went through even more hardships and anguish. So I like this right here, because what this episode is doing is what last week's episode did, which was essentially give us a little bit of Kawaki's past and really set things up to where you're starting to understand the character Kawaki, and giving us stuff that the manga either very vaguely hinted at, or even just giving us outright scenes that we don't see until somewhat later in this actual arc that the anime is adapting. So I like this, Ray. I like this. Again, I really hope going into this episode that they take the opportunity to show us that selection that was going on with Goro and Kawaki. And I'll take it a step further. I really hope we get the opportunity to see Delta punishing Kawaki, because that was something that we were told in the manga, and Kawaki was absolutely terrified of Delta once he saw her, because it is implied that Delta beat Kawaki to the living hell. So I like that. I hope we see more of the Kawaki and Jigen relationship. Jigen beating Kawaki, Kawaki running and hiding from this guy. I think they're doing a really good job of actually setting this character up and making him a very sympathetic character. I'm very excited about what they're actually doing here. This is good. Anytime we get new information like this is a quick way to win my approval. I like where they're heading with episode 192. So episode 193, now this is how we know for certain that we are moving into the current arc of the manga. So essentially 193, which is going to be airing on March 4th, is titled Cohabitating. So this is going to be the episode where Kawaki likely wakes up in the hospital and Naruto is interrogating him and getting all this information. So in this one, it says that Kawaki possesses a strange seal on the palm of his hand, which is called the Karma. The mysterious boy is also referred to as the vessel by Kara. The 5 Kage have a discussion in order to discuss how to deal with Kawaki. The 7th Hokage, Naruto, officially becomes responsible for Kawaki and then places him under his direct watch. And so it's been decided for Konoha to keep Kawaki within their custody, despite Naruto immediately bringing Kawaki home with him. Kawaki refuses to divulge any of his true feelings or even mention his own name. Naruto becomes worried about him. Later, Kawaki and Boruto get into a quarrel with one another, and they then confront each other face to face. A dangerous mood and atmosphere lingers around them. So I like that right there. And what we're essentially seeing is that we're getting more manga content adapted. And I think the number one thing we need to take away from everything that this current director for the Boruto series has done is that they don't need to get rid of this dude. Because this dude has been adapting manga content, and when we get quote-unquote filler, it's been quote-unquote filler that directly sets up stuff in the manga and is an obvious tie-in to the stuff in the manga, and it's been little either small sub-arcs that set up stuff later on, or it's been long anime original arcs like the car actuation arc. So I'm loving what this new director has done. We're getting a lot of manga content adapted, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it so far because it really looks like they're going to be setting up the Naruto versus Delta battle more than likely for late May or early June, just in time for summer. This is good. This is good. This means we might actually see Jigen get his big fight sometime in the summer as well. This is good. This is a very nice pace right here. So I want to know from you guys, so which of these episodes are you most interested in? And if you had to put a timetable based on the current pacing that the anime is doing, if you had to put a timetable on when we see Naruto versus Delta, when do you think we'll actually see that take place? Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm more so leaning towards this potentially having a few more slice of life anime episodes that directly set up everything that happens while Kawaki lives inside of Naruto's house, because there was a pretty decent amount of time where Naruto lived with Kawaki. So that's gonna be interesting to see how they kind of play that out. But again, I'm very interested on that. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.